Okay, Australia met Lebanon in the first quarter-final in this year's Rugby League World Cup. The scoreline hides the fact that it was a little bit closer uh, on the field of play than the scoreline suggests. It's finished 48-4, but there was a period in the first half where both sides were trading possession and sets. It was going set for set. Australia actually had to work to establish their lead. Then they run away with it in the second half of the first half. The second half of play, they lost direction and focus. Tedesco goes off as a precautionary measure with a minor thigh injury. Doesn't look too serious, literally does look precautionary because at this point the game was won, but they had to work to establish their lead, and then the second half of the first half they run away with it. Latrell Mitchell and Josh Addo-Carr down the left hand side, they couldn't cope, but they had to work to achieve that, and Josh Addo-Carr was popping up in positions on the field as a support runner, which he doesn't normally do as much at club level, and they couldn't cope with him. He had 5 tries on the game, and was just fantastic. Latrell Mitchell, I don't think Latrell Mitchell necessarily had his best game. I do think Latrell Mitchell is better at left centre than at fullback. And that the company fullbacks or players that can play fullback they have in this side. Only 2 players at the moment really in this Australia side are playing in their natural first choice club positions in that Australian backline. And Nathan Cleary didn't have the best game of his career, but he didn't have to, if that makes sense. Nathan Cleary, his kicking game wasn't as crisp, and his kicking at goal wasn't as good as it has been. He was missing kicks that this last couple of seasons at club level he would slot easily. So let's break it down. So they open the scoring Australia after just 5 minutes with Josh Addo-Carr scoring his first try of the night. And the conversion by Cleary is he hits the post. So it's a bit unlucky. It's not the worst strike of a ball Nathan Cleary's had. And you expect the odd miss here or there, but Nathan Cleary has actually not had necessarily the best performance with the kicking goal this tournament. He has missed quite a few of reasonably difficult, but not the hardest kicks going. And then the game for a 10-minute, 11-minute spell, it's 50-50, both sides. The momentum swinging a little bit, but Lebanon have dug in. The momentum is pretty even. The possession's pretty even. They are going set for set. They are forcing Australia to play. They didn't just quit straight away. But then Addo-Carr gets his second try in 16 minutes. And then suddenly, very, very quickly, the scoreline gets out of control. And Australia win the game by half time. I mean, Addo-Carr completes his hat trick on 19 minutes. But Cleary at this point, out of 3 tries, has converted 1 of them. That's not his normal kicking percentage at 33%. That is a slight concern. Latrell Mitchell's try, that's just brute force and power. And it's at this point that Australia have now established dominance and they're scoring at regular intervals. And it's not just like that Penrith connection. You've got Canterbury players and South Sydney players popping up. It's but a lot of what is interesting. All the try scorers this evening, New South Wales rep players. Not a single Queenslander has scored a single point this evening, which is I find very, very interesting. That the combinations that are scoring would be a state of origin kind of combination. They're popping up. It's like the New South Wales Blues were basically winning this game tonight. Whereas in other games Australia have played, it's been a mix of Queensland and New South Wales. Although the Queensland players did have contributing factors like the strip for Addo-Carr's third try from Cameron Munster. for example, one-on-one strip of Kiraz. For the most part, the combinations that were creating and finishing the tries, and creating the space, the line breaks like Tedesco's line break, where Addo-Carr is the support runner for the second. New South Wales. Well, the Trail Mitchell scores. He takes on the Lebanese right edge and takes 2 players over the line with him. Cameron Murray scores 2 tries in 3 minutes around the half-hour mark. But they're almost carbon copy tries around the posts. He's a great leader for South Sydney, and he injected further energy to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Was very energetic when he came on. He scored 2 tries. That helps with Cleary's goal kicking percentage of the night. He scores them in the right areas to make kicking go a little bit easier. And then, yeah, it's 13-0 at half time. But there was periods in that first half where Australia did have to work. The scoreline betrays the fact it was actually, for a decent spell in that first half, it was a bit of an arm wrestle. They didn't just blow the scoreline out straight away. They had to get that little bit of luck and a good bit of support play to open up the Lebanese defence. Bit of luck being the strip by Cameron Munster, and the good support play being the break by Tedesco, with Addo-Carr coming infield to receive possession to really get the scoring going. But from 16 minutes through to 33 minutes, Australia pretty much Lebanon couldn't get hold of the ball, so they control that possession, and they starved Lebanon of an attempt really to get back into the game. After half-time, Addo-Carr gets 2 more tries, but the scoring's dropped off, the intensity's dropped off, and Tedesco at this point has been withdrawn from the field, and Cherry Evans has come on. But Addo-Carr still scores 2 more tries on 44 and 59 minutes. And finally, Liam Martin scores on 70 minutes. Again, all New South Welshmen, but only one Penrith Panther tonight getting on the score sheet as a try scorer, which is interesting considering how dominant they have been for the Australians and other teams as well in the try scoring side of things. And Liam Martin is a bundle of energy. He's very, very difficult. For a forward, he's very powerful for his size. But on the other side of things, Josh Mansour scoring right at the death for Lebanon. I think they did sort of, for their efforts, deserve to take something from the game. I think the scoreline possibly could and should have been a little bit closer, but there's that period in the second half of the first half where they couldn't really contain Addo-Carr. They couldn't really contain Australia. They couldn't get their hands on the ball. Australia rode their luck a little bit in the first half, but once they started scoring the points, they came thick and fast, and Addo-Carr has had a fantastic tournament so far. And of course, there were a lot of question marks about why he was left out of the New South Wales Blues side last season in the Origin series, being overlooked because we didn't play Origin this year. You could argue last year if the World Cup actually took place on time, he would have not only played Origin but in the World Cup. So possibly not playing Origin has actually improved Addo-Carr's hunger a little bit for rep football, and playing for a lesser team this year in the Canterbury Bulldogs, he found it a bit harder to score points. I think has possibly improved Addo-Carr's all-round game. He's had to work on other areas of his game to get involved in the play, score tries. So there we go. It's finished 48 points to 4 to Australia. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.